We'll have a big confabulation, a little midnight recreation. It's terrific you're here. We're fresh out of beer, but there's plenty of gin.
Welcome to Navtastic, a podcast about 8 seasons in a row. I'm Mr. Fernandes, and
I am Chris Jayawardena. Hello.
And we're reviewing the third annual Shotz Talent Show, which is from season 4 of Laverne Shirley, directed by Joel Zwick, and written by Paul B. Price and Stephen Nathan. Which gives facts about them, don't you, Chris?
I do indeed. All right. So for Stephen Nathan and Paul B. Price, these were the folks previously of Come All Ye Bums and Playing the Roxy. But this is their final and third script for the show. This is the last episode for the both of them. Paul Price, as mentioned before, kind of did a bit of this, a bit of that, until getting 9 episodes of writing in on Empty Nest as his last work as a television writer. He then shifted to doing bit parts and cameos and things here up and there until 2011, before he passed away at the age of 2012 at the age of 78.
Oh.
Rest in peace, I think.
Yeah. R.I.P.
And Stephen Nathan's other credits include afterwards him going on to do some scripts for like You Take the Kids, Everybody Loves Raymond, which he also executive produced a little on. It did a lot of this and that. He's done a few things even recently, but I definitely have to point out that he went on to produce the failed TV pilot Vegas Dick.
I love it.
It is a private detective show that would have had Katherine Heigl as a supporting role. You can probably find it. But yeah, it's listed as a TV movie now, but we all know what that's code for. Anywho, then Joel Zwick, hey, kids, do you remember that this guy did My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Because, yep, he totally did. And he's still working today. His most recent directing gigs include episodes of Casey Undercover and Girl Meets World, along with a couple of Fuller House episodes for Netflix.
Learn something new every day. You really do. Here's what the episode's about. After managing to make the boss's son look good during last year's talent show, the girls fully expect to finally be named directors of the Shotz Talent Show. But they are usurped by Lenny and Squiggy, who are blackmailing Mr. Shotz's position after seeing him coming out of a motel with the Von Mueller triplets. Lenny and Squiggy naturally build the show around themselves and their perceived talents, alienating everyone else, including the girls, who have worked up a lively puppet routine for the show. They quit in a rage, leaving the boys to their own devices and resulting in a disastrous performance for them. The boys beg the girls to show up at the talent show and save their heinies. Will they agree to it? What do you think of this episode?
Well, one thing that's very true about even directors is that there is an element of performance to the directing craft, that you have to perform for your crew to make your scene come to life. So then wearing makeup actually makes a ton of sense, to be perfectly honest.
I was going to ask, is it fair for them to have been wearing makeup?
It's unnecessary, but yeah, no. I definitely have had a moment or two where it's been like, I don't really know entirely what I'm doing, and I have to make them believe that I do, that's acting.
Acting. The grand talent of acting. Acting in the director's chair.
The wonderful the old craft from ancient places there. Yes. Mm-hmm. No, but this was fun. It's not my favorite of the talent show episodes.
Yeah.
The bits that are good are amazing.
Yeah.
But it lacks a bit of consistency. So I will be coming to that as we go along.
I feel like it's missing something too, and I think maybe the boys are a little bit too mean to the girls in this one. Like, to the point where it becomes unpleasant. But that's just my thought.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of the individual performances, though. Betty Garrett knocks it out of the park in this incredible solo ukulele performance. She is a badass. I love that scene, and you should watch that scene. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, watch that clip. It is perfection. It's one of the best things she does.
Just remember, listen, no matter what's going on, where you are, what you might be doing at this point, I don't know. Maybe you're trying to escape from a horrifying hellbeast trying to break into your house, but just remember, there's plenty of time for plenty of gin.
Plenty of gin.
My God, Betty, you are a delight, and I love you.
She has so much fun. I love the girls think the song is going to end at certain different times and points, but it does not. It just keeps going. And they're still into it, though. And she still does a better job than poor Frank, who's just the world's worst ventriloquist.
Yeah, it's not even trying. I love the lines about it. It's the it's like, how long have you been doing it? I started it this morning. Can you believe it? You know, it surprised me. It's so easy, and I have so much fun doing it. Oh God.
Or if you love me, Pop.
I mean, when the puppet itself enters the scene,
Yeah.
it, you know, and I especially love Shirley just busts up laughing, clearly not for the right reasons, and Laverne is embarrassed as can be.
Oh yeah.
And then the first thing out of him is hi, and then it's eh.
And then
Oh God, it's like a little pika, a little pika sound. Eh.
yeah, and he's just completely awful at it, just utterly, unbelievably awful at it. And then during Enda's performance, he's popping the head of the puppet up and down, which is hilarious and adorable. Just grooving along with the puppet tapping, neck going up and down. Cute as heck.
Yep.
Cute as heck.
Absolutely adorable. Yep.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you know, it's like, well, what about me? You know, Frank asks, you know, you'll be the MC, and he holds up the puppet. What about him? And Edna's remark, he'll make a great lamp.
Yep. I love her line before he sits down to start the act, though. It's hard to say I've never been able to sit through to the end. I love that line.
Yes.
Best line. Best line.
It's good.
Best line. And then the girls are at work. Laverne's eating scooter pies with tuna fish.
God, how can she eat that?
She has a gut of steel, which is hilarious because eventually she develops an ulcer by season 8.
Well, to be fair, season 8.
Season 8 will give anybody an ulcer. We'll get there. She makes fun of the boys' eating habits, but she eats exactly like them. Same palate and everything, so no wonder if she's a third of them often. So they're sitting there just thinking that they're going to get their glory, and it's given to the boys. And the boys immediately let the power go directly to their heads. Instantaneously.
I do love they come slamming through the door. The timing on that is amazing.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And the girl's just going into a rage. You've been sucking up those suds all day?
Yep. Oh, God. Yeah, and also, by the way, hello, Harry Shearer.
Yes.
It's good to see you again for your little gig for the season.
Aloha, Harry Shearer. You're always talent. And then the boys defending their position that they prefer a frame-up.
Yes. Yeah. Blackmail's such an ugly word, Laverne.
Yep.
We prefer frame-up.
Yep. I love that they managed to... Triplets. Can you imagine that? Triplets at his age. Jeez.
It's either... Oh, God. Okay. Either he's got incredible stamina or very low sensitivity.
Yeah. One or the other, perhaps both. Perhaps both.
Yep. And, you know, at least Squiggy's honest about, you know, the whole, you know, that's, I guess the only thing about the boys, you know, getting this gig is that they're honest about how they got it.
Yep.
And Squiggy's honest about, you know, auditions are open for those who'll be in the show, won't be in the show, and those who will be who won't be in the show and will be in the show whether they're talented or not. Yeah. Something to that effect.
Yep.
I don't have the specific line, but yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
Oh, got it. And of course, the wonderful sign-off line as they leave. Come on, Lenny, we got to find the stage. They got a stage?
Which is perfect. They got a stage? He's just so impressed. Oh, Lord.
Which is particularly funny given that he's done the talent show like at least 2 times canonically, if not probably more through their lives.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a big professional stage, and they've been there before, and they've done this before. So it's kind of hilarious. He's like, wow, really? You get a whole stage and everything? And of course, once we zoom to rehearsals, the girls have their little number, which is really cute. You guys admit the number's pretty cute.
It is so cute. So cute.
It's adorable. And the boys are standing there in makeup and their robes.
Yep. Oh, that's right, because there's the hello gag about how they're worried about it being a puppet act, being silly.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, it's going to be special. Most puppet acts are just a couple of dummies on strings. Hello.
Perfect. Utterly perfect. I love it. And the girls make fun of them for wearing makeup. And the boys go, well, you might not even be in the talent show. And the girls figure out that they're going to be there right after the seal that can sing like Kate Smith. Which is an amazing line.
It's an amazing line.
Amazing visuals. Amazing visuals. Just a mad... a lot of people from our generation probably do not know who Kate Smith is. She became famous for singing God Bless America in an extremely strong tone. And When the Moon Comes Over the Mountain, which is the song that Laverne mentions here, was also a big hit. So, yeah. So look her up and then think of a seal singing all of those tunes, and you will realize why that little bit is funny. Yeah.
But it seems a bit, I don't know. The whole thing seems a bit undignified, doesn't it?
So the girls say. And then in comes Carmine with a canoe and a headdress, which we'll just ignore.
Oh, God, no. At least he didn't like it. He didn't like it.
He didn't like it. The girls didn't like it. Laverne just wanted to have it in the bathtub with her. She's very high on bathtub toys this season. I don't know why. This is 2 episodes in a row. This episode and the next episode we're going to review mentions her wanting to have bathtub toys. That comes up.
Maybe they were like trying to work their way up to like a bathtub gag with Laverne stuck in a bathtub. Maybe that's it's like kind of foreshadowing, or I don't know. Something.
Possibly, but they probably couldn't do a bathtub episode because Dick Van Dyke did a legendary one. So there's always so much you can.
Okay, that's why that thought seemed familiar. Okay, yeah. I think I remember this one now.
So they couldn't have milled any more juice out of that subject when somebody else has already gotten there with class and dignity and done a heck of a job. So
I've also got to say, man, Shirley is super hot and bothered for Carmine because you first have her wishing him luck, says good luck, big fella.
Yeah.
Which again, I say, break a leg, don't good luck them. You're gonna murder them. They're gonna die on stage. You're gonna die before they even get through their audition. What are you doing? Stop it. Anyway.
Well, she's in the show business. She doesn't know.
True. Anyway, Carmine's number was really good. As Eddie, as always, just damn, that guy can be dapper and dashing. It's a pity his character's such a twat.
God, you hate Carmine so much. You hate Carmine more than America hates COVID. You that much.
No.
Almost.
Because the thing is, most of what I say is facetious. Most of what I say, a lot of what I say is facetious. Because I mean, it's you know how I was saying a few episodes ago that like when he's not dealing with the relationship crap and going out on Shirley, he's fine. He's totally fine. When he's about his dreams and him being a dancer, he's totally fine. But yeah, no, I mean, like I was actually gonna, as I've kind of pointed out, I mean, his dance is improved immensely in the season, and like this number was fantastic.
Yes.
At times, yeah. There's some moves in here that's like they seem simple, but they often say the simplest, smallest things are often the most hard because you have to, you really gotta know what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
And I also thought it was really cute the reverse shot they have of the two LNSs watching the show. Yeah. I thought it was very cute.
Yeah, that was a beautiful number. It was very well choreographed. Eddie did a great job with it, and the song fits Carmine. It fits Carmine very well. All I need is the girl, which is a standard. Tony Bennett did it, I think. I think Tony Bennett did it. I'm pretty sure Tony Bennett did it first, but it's a darn good one. He kills this number. I'm guessing the girls are Carmine's students or his assistants at the dance studio. That's all I can imagine or conjure to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Shirley's really proud of him. She says they'll talk about the girls later. And then, of course, the boys are like, no, you're not going to be part of our talent show. And Carmine gets pissed, as he should. The boys are being ridiculous in this episode. And then the girls beat the crap out of the boys. And they'll tussle. All four of them tussle.
Laverne giving Lenny a necessary noogie.
Yes. And then he yanks out her sweater. And she tells him he's going to pay for that. And he's like, I'm sorry. He's going to kick his butt.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, he apologizes because he rocked up her sweater and all that jazz. Yeah, it was adorable. I love that bit.
Yep.
That is good. And of course, Squiggy's immortal line that he knows what the audience wants. They want sex. They want sexy violence. They want balancey sex. Such a good line.
Lenny, I'm getting hot.
So
good. God, like I kind of want that on a t-shirt so that I can wear that to set, especially if I ever shoot anything super lurid, like if I ever get my Giallo movie made, I want that on my shirt.
Do it. I'm going to hold you
Oh,
to it.
God.
Do it.
And then the boys go into their very how would you even describe this bit, the way that they do this? Because it's like it's the kind of thing I would think of like in a Hope and Crosby movie. But God, yeah, they're on the way to Gay Paris.
Yeah.
And oh man, I love how David and Michael just go into that, and especially the physical bit where they bop their arms onto each other.
Yeah. That's so cute.
Yeah, it is.
I'm pretty sure that Michael and David wrote the song. Pretty sure they wrote most of the numbers, and Michael wrote a lot of the songs that aren't they're original and aren't just for Lenny and Squiggy. We'll get there even more as the seasons go on. They're so into this idea. At one point in the future, they're told they've won a trip to, I think, Tijuana. And then Lenny grabs Squiggy by the lapels and he goes, "We're going to France!" It's A, the most boys line possible. And B, of course they don't really know what France is like, so they're going to march off to France, and they've seen all these things. They've probably seen American in Paris, so they've been dragged to an American in Paris. So this is their idea of romance, and they are not that great at it. Plus, no one wants to worm into your puppets.
Oh, man.
Which is a great line. Yeah. I know.
It is good.
Yeah, I know.
It is good. Also, okay. Pigeon puddles.
Pigeon puddles. That's a great line.
Yeah. Now that's entertainment. That's pigeon puddles. So incredibly distinctive of a line.
I love it.
Very visceral.
Yeah.
No, and I I noticed this bit. I think there's a note from you and Laverne quietly going axe crazy in the back, you know, as
Yep.
Oh, that's right. That's in the following scene. I remember that now. That's from the Hammer.
Yes. That's coming up.
My notes are a little scattered on this episode.
That's coming up next. The boys ultimately offending the girls and driving them off by saying that I want them to be in the number The Two Handsome Men and the Dancing Elephants.
Right.
So, A, it's so them, and B, it's so mean. Of course, that's what they were doing in this episode. The Two Dancing Elephants. How do they expect that that will go over well? Of course, it's Squiggy. Of course, he doesn't put 2 and 2 together to get 4. Two and two together to get
65. That's kind of that's a squig kind of maneuver.
Yeah. He'll get 80 bajillion squared by pi. That's what's him.
He'll divide by 0 and blow up the universe.
Yep. He meant to do that. He meant to blow up the universe. Lenny immediately does seem to, however, know that they are going to bomb. Because he's begging the girls to stay. He begs them. And
he's got a feeling.
Yeah.
And, to be honest, I wonder how much of this is how, kind of like Laverne and Shirley have Shirley can often have the scheme and something that's a little more advanced, a little more like, we're going to do this, and it's going to be big, and it's going to go this way. It feels like Squig is kind of the same way, and Lenny just kind of gets dragged along. And I'm wondering if Lenny's like, oh, okay, that sounds like a nice idea. Even though, the closer he gets to opening night, he starts to wonder, we're going to be screwed without the girls, right? Like, I think he's a little more aware, besides, if he's, obviously he likes Laverne enough that he, and he tries to kind of peacock himself a little bit to, it's like all puffed up, like, yes, Laverne.
perfect impression.
I can imagine him feel a little bad that it's like, okay, now they're gone. Now we can't impress them.
Yeah.
How am I going to impress the girl if she's mad at me?
Yeah, exactly. At least part of it seems to be that. At least part of it is trying to impress the girls, and part of it is trying to impress any girl, and part of it is trying to be hotshots. And it just blows up in their faces spectacularly, enormously, incredibly. So Laverne's like going axe crazy at home while Shirley's ranting, and she's taking a hammer and smashing nuts, pretending it's the boys' heads, which is wow. That's major.
Now, how can you tell which one is which?
Well, one's a Squiggy.
Oh, God, that's right. My note from when they come in begging for help. Because suddenly their door bursts open there in the middle of this at home and, smashing nuts. The door suddenly bursts open. The boys are in begging for help. And I notice ketchup on their bodies. Wait, blood? Maybe? Oh no, it's throwing food and vegetables.
Yep.
Um,
Just veggies.
and I love that. And they started throwing beaver food. Yeah, wooden stuff.
Furniture.
I got hit with a lamp that looked just like your father.
That's the best line. The way Michael delivers that line and the way he says it is the way he looks and the way his whole expression is perfect. And of course, Laverne's, I'm so embarrassed. Like, that's the embarrassing part. It's not that they've been driven out of the talent show. It's that everyone has seen her father's horrifying routine. They've seen him try to operate a puppet. And it has failed utterly. She's going to have an even more embarrassing ventriloquism routine to deal with in season 5. We'll get there.
Oh dear.
That's my favorite Shotz talent show. That's coming up.
Ah, okay, that's cool. It's good to know that there's. I trust your opinion. There's something good to look forward to. Yes.
Yes, very much.
I thought it was sweet that Laverne helps them immediately.
Yeah.
Like as much as she's angry, but it's like, okay, you know, they're still their friends, and she's gotten the anger, I think, a little more out of her system viscerally by smashing them nuts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and plus she can't resist Lenny's begging. This becomes a thing. She cannot resist his begging. If he puts his head on her shoulder, she'll cave in. That becomes a thing in season 5. All he has to do is just like put his head on her shoulder, and that's it.
Do you need me to screen cap that for you?
What, his head on her shoulder?
Yeah.
Well, there is a nice example of that in the diner. That'll be coming up. It's cute.
Okay.
It's cute.
I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah.
It's very cute. It is cute. I actually didn't catch that detail. I kind of wish I had. I think I was writing down Shirley's rant at the time.
Yeah. Oh no, he doesn't do that in this
Somehow-
episode. He does it in season 5. He does it in he does it in it's implied he does it in The Right to Light, and he actually does do it in the diner when he's sobbing, and he just puts his head on her breast, and she lets him, and it's sweet.
You know, it's amazing how breasts can make amazing pillows and amazing wiping surfaces.
There you go. That's the upcoming joke, which I won't spoil for you. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there soon. But yes.
Anywho,
Yeah.
So we flash over. We're back at the talent show. It's backstage, and then they're working the ropes. They got them on the ropes. They got them. They're floating. They got the dukes up, and it's this was a great reveal of the puppet act. What they meant.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
You kind of realize that the girls could just save themselves a lot of trouble by just like gluing the ropes onto themselves somehow, instead of letting them be actually attached to wires and guide wires on stage, which is incredibly dangerous. And then you hand the ropes to the boys who have not been nice to you all week. So, and then they kind of like, at some level, blame the girls for not helping. So, because they decide to immediately mess with them, and then the messing with them gets out of hand, and they end up half strangled by their own ropes anyway. So it turns into
I think I'm trying to remember if it was you or your comments. There's a line of dialogue in the show, but I have a note here that says "talk about destiny strings."
Yeah, that was me. I said that when we watched the episode for the first time. Lenny's rope is attached to Laverne. Squiggy's rope is attached to Shirley.
Ah, there we go.
And I only figured that out when you see Squiggy testing to see if they can move the girls by crouching, and then when he crouches, Shirley starts going upward. So that's how you find out who's attached to him.
God, but the whole number though is it's this is what I mean about how like the episode is not quite consistent, but the highlights work. My God, this finale is amazing.
Yeah,
I love this part.
Yeah, just imagine that Penny and Cindy did this in a one take. They did this and
kind of.
Yeah,
I would only trust one take. I don't want to do it again. It's like at some point one of those freaking wires is gonna break. Something's gonna slip. You know, one of the actors is gonna slip out of their clothes. I don't know. Something horrible is gonna happen. I mean, Frank even crosses himself for crying out loud.
That's such a great moment. That is such a beautiful moment, and it's perfect. The way he crosses himself and he folds his hands, he looks skyward. I love how it just, as the song goes on, the tempo and the tenor of what the boys are doing backstage changes. They do it accidentally at first because they're chasing other girls backstage. Then they realized, oh, we're anchored to the spot. I wonder what happens if we do this. And then they're messing around, ends up tangling up themselves, like I said. But the girls' reactions to this, I'm getting nauseous. Keep singing, Cheryl. I'm trying. Keep singing. I'm trying. Ah!
Good
the way
stuff.
They float and the way they fly is really good. And can you imagine being Cindy or Penny having to do that in those costumes?
I mean, fun, exciting, terrifying.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Yeah, and appreciate more dark lighting. It's becoming a Zwick standard here.
Yes, it is. The girls get to finally speak to Mr. Shotz, who gives them flowers. He's actually somewhat grateful that they saved his bacon.
Yep.
As grateful as he'll ever get.
And they're going to have to clean up and close up shop.
Yep. I think we are to the point where it's time to grade this baby.
Yeah, I can't think of too much else to cover. You go ahead first. I'm still thinking on a number. I'm still working on it.
This one is about a 6.5 for me. I really, really, really like all the individual numbers. I like Edna's number especially. Betty Garrett is so good in it. I liked the girls' puppet routine. I like some of the boys being self-inflated by their own egos, but not a ton of it. I think the boys do get too mean in this episode. I think that the episode suffers a little bit from that. They need a stronger comeuppance. Their humiliation, kind of does provide that. But then they turn around and they're mean to the girls again. They didn't really learn the lesson.
Exactly.
They needed to learn the lesson more securely and severely.
Agreed.
And more truthfully. More honesty.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think 6.5. I think is about the highest I think I could take it. 7, if the boys weren't so mean. But even then, and even like Max coming in, Max Shotz being in here, it feels almost unnecessary.
Yeah,
it's like it's a nice piece of connective tissue from the previous season, but it doesn't add much. And I almost wonder if part of the issue here is that you had this pair of writers who probably were in the writer's room for a while, but they don't have as good of a grasp on this group, and especially on an episode like this. This is the one that I feel like it's just, whatever reason, it just didn't land in the right hands, I think, because the ideas are sound, but there's something missing. There's some little stroke of inspiration is what it feels like.
Exactly. Just exactly. It's so close to being a very highly regarded episode, but it just needs like a little bit more, a little something. But watch the two numbers. Watch the boys' number too. Watch Eddie's number. All the numbers are really good.
Mm-hmm.
All the individual numbers are really good. The connective tissue is a little weak, and the boys are way too mean, and they kind of need to be punched in various areas. So,
right.
That's my final word on it.
Yeah, and I guess to clarify about the boys being mean is that the boys can be mean, but here this is a bit more severe than them just being childish. I guess what I mean is like this type of behavior doesn't have as many stakes in high school. But this is where the girls have really already proven themselves, and this comes off as rather sexist or misogynist in the way that they're treating them as if they're smaller. I mean, basically, they're a hair's length away from saying that women have no place behind the stage, being directors of in theater. Like, that's where it kind of feels like it's going, which, I mean, obviously, I don't think the people behind the scenes believe that, obviously. They clearly don't, but that's what they sort of impart onto the boys' perspective as these, chauvinist pigs that want, pretty babes, them to be the heroes of the story and everything to be all about them. And it feels overkill for it being that much so throughout the episode. I could see them being tied, the boys being tied and them having, because, them having fun and it being oblivious to them causing trouble with the girls, that to me is funny, is they're causing all this mayhem and getting tangled up, but none of it's intentional. Whereas with it being very heavily implied as being intentional and being directly shown as intentional in a couple of cases, they just come off like jerks. I don't know. It just doesn't sit, and it doesn't. Again, it's a case of consistency. It doesn't sit well with how far we've come with these characters.
Yeah, exactly. What it really needed was for it to impact upon the two of them that, we're being hurtful. We're not thinking about it. Think about how these girls feel about it. When they realize how it feels to be booed and spat upon, that should be a bigger light bulb. Instead, they just use the girls, and then they just monkey around because they can. And it's just fine, but after they learn their lesson, it needs to stay learned. It just needed to stay learned, and it did not stay learned. That's just my thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the end of it.
Yeah. Cool.
We're done here.
Good times. I mean, generally good times. Anyway.
Yeah. Fairly good times. Intervals of good times.
Cool. Anyway, thanks again, everybody, for joining us for Night After Night podcast. And if you would like to know more, please join us at Night After Night PC on Twitter for discussions and watch-alongs and other goodies that we like to post up there for you folks out there. And, you also can find us at Night After Night Pod, which is on Facebook. It's on the Tumblr. It's on Patreon. It's even on WordPress. Goodness gracious me. And make sure to, like, comment, subscribe, follow our podcast. Watch out. We got a lot of backlog now. And so if you need to catch up, go catch up. Hopefully there's a way to stream the show by the time this episode goes out. But in any case, though, we're hoping you join us for more because we got some more coming up. Now, it's looking a little bit messy here. I feel like I need to go to the store. Lisa, what do we got here?
Laverne Shirley duke it out over a shopping spree to supermarkets. They get a little greedy, their friends get a little greedy, everyone gets a little bit greedy, and maybe they pay for it, maybe they don't. We'll find out. This is called Supermarket Sweep.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, so I guess I need to go buy a loaf of bread and a dozen eggs. You got 50 cents on you?
Oh, sure.
Oh, great.
There you go.
Excellent. Thank you.
I was going to say that, God, can you imagine how much milk cost back then? Compared to everything, milk and bread, imagine how much it cost.
Oh, man. See, I was referencing an old Gumby episode. That's why I mentioned a loaf of bread and a dozen eggs, and Gumba gives little Gumby a 50 cents. And he's supposed to bring back the change for that. Wow. Imagine that. I'm sure somebody on our Twitter will let us know. Anyway, so we'll see you folks next time for the Supermarket Sweep. And I actually have some neat trivia about the person who wrote this episode. But hopefully you'll stay tuned for next time instead of spoiling yourselves early. Shh.
Shh. Stay frosty, baby. Stay frosty.
Oh, the bride